Hello and welcome to another taste challenge. I wish I had saved my glass bottle for what I'm about to show you, but I did not because I didn't know what happened, what's going to happen. Here is premium Canadian WD exclusive premium Canadian whiskey with natural flavors. It really is exclusive because you can only buy it at WD Liquors, Winn-Dixie Liquors, which is all over Florida, over 400 stores. Now in Louisiana, yes, I can buy this. This is where I bought it. But WD Liquors is not a separate store. It's inside a Winn-Dixie grocery chain because Louisiana does not force you to sell liquor at a liquor store. You can sell it at a grocery store on the aisle with no restrictions aside from age restriction. I could just tell a child, go pull that off the shelf for Papa. No, true story. In Louisiana, you can buy liquor at gas stations, convenience stores, at college baseball games. Okay. This company, Winn-Dixie, was established in 1955 with a merger of two grocery chains. It got bought by Aldi in 2014, so it's part of Aldi today. True story. Right here, right there, I could walk there in 10 minutes. We have an Aldi, and right next to it is a hospital, and right across the parking lot, as a street goes behind the parking lot, is Winn-Dixie. So they're right next to each other with one block in between, and they're owned by the same people. Okay, so Winn-Dixie is known as the beef people. They're kind of like well known around here for their meat. People love Winn-Dixie meat, beef, stuff like that. But they also have always had a line of private label liquor, and they used to have a beer. Apparently, it was called Fisher beer, but I don't remember that. But all my life, I remember these Winn-Dixie WD liquors: Canadian whiskey, bourbon whiskey from Kentucky, doggone rum, silver and gold, tequila, silver and gold, vodka, 80 proof, 100 proof, gin, and probably more. Okay, so these only come in these big plastic handles. Winn-Dixie has them. They used to be glass, in 1984, but they're plastic now. $13.99 this month. $13.99 until the end of the month. I'm not joking about this. Canadian whiskey with natural flavors. What are the flavors? We don't know. You say, well, then it's not a real whiskey. Well, you better go read the law of Canada, because according to Canadian whiskey regulations, updated as recently as last week, last month, sorry. Yeah, they just revised their liquor standards. I was looking at their government primary website, not some guy talking about it, but the actual regulations. They were saying that you can sell whiskey with flavor. It just said flavors added. It didn't say natural flavors, but I've never seen a Canadian whiskey that said artificial flavors, but it said natural flavors. Okay, but there are some rules. Canadian whiskey has to be at least 40% alcohol, which is what this is. It has to be aged at least 3 years, which is what this is, because it's Canadian whiskey. It has to be 3 years in oak barrels. So it doesn't have to be new oak. Could be a used barrel. Aged at least 3 years in an oak barrel. It has to be made from grains, not any specific type of cereal grain, by the way. And it has to have the aromas and flavors generally associated with Canadian whiskey, if you can explain what that means. But that's what the government of Canada says, okay? And there it is, $13.99 till the end of the month, okay? Cheers, Louisiana Liquor Review, says Tommy. Tommy Carroll says, happened to go by Aldi's today and picked up a four-pack of the German beer. You picked up 4 of the 4-packs. Oh, the Wernesgrüner, yeah. A 12-pack of Shut Eye Peak I was saying it was Shuti. I couldn't understand the way they spelled it. I didn't realize it was shut eye. Pete, going to give it a try this weekend. Have a good weekend. You too. I wasn't really thrilled with that AO, but I didn't hate it. Shut eye. Yeah, I thought it was Shuti. Okay, here's the competitor. Also from Buffalo Trace, I might add. But it didn't start with them, but it's from them. So here is Canadian Hunter, introduced in 1984 by the Seagram's Company. There's the bullet. They show the Canadian guy with the rifle and the husky dogs. Also Canadian whiskey with natural flavors. They don't say anything about coloring added. Yes, the Government of Canada website says you can add caramel, for the coloring. But Sazerac is not saying that they're adding caramel, and they're pretty good about saying it if they do it. Oh, my glasses. Not my eyeglasses, my whiskey glasses. Okay. Now, I have had some products from Sazerac, Buffalo Trace, that will say caramel color added, but these don't say that. So I think they're pretty consistent about telling you what they're doing with their products. They're not required to disclose that. They don't have to put with natural flavors. They could just say Canadian whiskey, sell it, and let you figure it out. But like some other companies, which we won't name. But I can't prove it anyway, but I guess I'm highly suspicious of it. But it doesn't matter. But that's Canada. All right. It's the same thing in the United States. You can add flavor into whiskey. You can add color into whiskey. You do not, and I don't care what anybody says, they'll come up here talking about, you don't know what you're talking about. Oh, really? You want to go live with me? We'll look at some documents, but you're not going to do that, huh? And I'm not trying to be flip or arrogant. It's the people coming at me that are being that way because they are like trying to act like they know something that other people don't know when you can easily look it up. It's not like some hidden thing like you got to go into a catacomb and find the information. It's right there in public. Just look it up. It's right there. Primary source, not some web log about it. In the United States, just like Canada, you can add flavoring, you can add coloring, and you do not have to tell people that you're doing it. Now, whether that's good or bad, I guess it's bad in a way because you may not know, but it is allowed. Whether that's offensive to you or not offensive, I'm sorry, but it is allowed. Not with straight whiskey. Okay, now there is a type of whiskey called straight whiskey, whether it's bourbon, corn whiskey, wheat whiskey, doesn't matter. Rye whiskey. No, you cannot add coloring or flavoring to that. That's why it's called straight, because it's straight whiskey. It's nothing added on. It's no add-on. That's the reason to use that word. Bottle and bond is a type of straight whiskey that's even more strictly regulated. Okay, but beyond that, you get off of that, it's anything goes. And that's just the way it is. Put the glass here. Now, these bottles, I wish I had saved my glass bottle because I emptied out all my Canadian Hunter 750. I went through it. It took me years, but I finally got through it. And I went through the Seagram's Canadian. I found an old bottle. True story. I found a very old bottle of Seagram's Canadian Hunter. It tasted different. And in fact, it looked different. And more than likely, it was different. But once they sold it to Sazerac in 1989, it didn't really matter. They had control of it, so they could change it any way they wanted to, which is apparently what they did. Canadian Hunter was introduced by the Seagram's Company in 1984, and it was sold to Sazerac 5 years later. So, no kind of big success for Seagram's. But Sazerac has been holding on to this brand for 45 years. And it's a strong seller in Louisiana. I can't testify to other states. And I don't even know if they sell it in Canada, but I think they do sell it in Canada. Canadian viewers can help me out with that. So this is a 100 milliliter bottle. And why did my friend David give me 400 milliliter bottles? Well, he was being nice. But I'll tell you the story. He bought 12 of these bottles for $5. 12 of these bottles for $5 at Savannah discount. I should have done it, but I just said, I've been through Canadian Hunter. I've done the whole 750. I still have half the bottle of the Hunter Rye, the rye whiskey from them. So I was like, nah. But that's like literally the cheapest whiskey in the world. That's not going to kill you, from somebody back of somebody's truck. So 12 of these bottles for $5. That's 6 bottles for $2.50. All right. That's $3. That's 3 bottles for $1.25. See what I'm saying? How they got it that cheap? I don't know what's going on in Savannah discount. I don't go in there ask a bunch of questions. I go in there, get my stuff, and get out. And that's Jefferson Parish, and that's what anybody with a brain would do, because they have a history of anyway. All right. I'm aware that Foster's Green Label has caramel color, but I was wondering if Yingling Traditional has caramel color and flavoring added. I've always wondered that. You must have watched my video. Burley Solomon says, you. Same to you, Burley. Some people have gotten offended and told me, I can guarantee you they do not have coloring added to Yingling Traditional. I said, can I get, you have information on that? Like, you got some proof? Oh, well, they were telling me, well, you're just being a jerk. It says nothing about that. If you're going to come tell me that you know definitively that it does not have caramel coloring added, just show me the evidence. That's all. You don't have to accuse people of insidious motives. Okay, just say it. Do I know that these do not have caramel coloring added? No, I don't know that. But I have a strong suspicion that they do not, by years and years of looking at how Sazerac handles their products. They typically will say it on the bottle if they add it. They certainly will tell you about natural flavoring. So since they don't say it, I'm assuming, I'm not definitively saying it, I'm assuming that it doesn't have it. And it doesn't look like it has it. It's very light. It's just gold, pale, straw color. All right. So, all right. Funny thing about it is, low profile as this is, and this is about as low profile it gets for the United States, it has a website listing. I looked it up. I posted it below. Now, does it give you any good information about the whiskey? No. And in fact, it doesn't even spell whiskey correctly. It spells it in the USA version, S-K-I-E-Y, W-H-I-S-K-Y, S-K-E-Y. Whereas in Canada, it's spelled with K-Y. Like here, Canadian whiskey, W-H-I-S-K-Y. But when Dixie doesn't realize that, so they just spelled it K-E-Y. It's funny. Sazerac, they know better, they're going to spell it correctly. I toured Yingling, and they almost have to use artificial coloring in their traditional lager because the grain bill is mostly corn, says Craft Beer Tastic. That was my suspicion because I taste it and I like it. Okay, I like Yingling Traditional. I never said I didn't. But it does sort of taste like regular beer. Like, it doesn't taste like a beer that would be dark. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to offend Pennsylvanians. Oh, poured it in the wrong glass. Sorry. I'll go rinse it out. Hello, Ronald. Hello to you, Max Walt in the Russian Federation. The reason I said the wrong glass, I have tags, you see, and the tags tell me which is which, and I poured it in the wrong. What's for lunch today, Ron? Well, get ready because I'm going to record a video with this Nong Sham. I think it's called Nong Sham noodles that Mo sent me. Thank you, Mo, from Arizona. Nong Sham noodles. Let's see this. I'm going to eat it with, I'm going to pair it with Milwaukee's Best Light. Why not? The legendary. Okay, Nong Sham. When were they founded? Not too long ago. It might have been seeing their products. Oh, 1953. Oh no, Marushan, founded as a fish distributorship in Tokyo by Kazuo Mori. Marushan. Damn, this is not what I want. Oh, sorry, wrong website. Whoops. Oh, Nong Shim. Whoops. Whoopsie daisy. Okay, we got it straight. Nong Shim USA, because their noodles that we get are made in the United States. So, at a factory that they may own or they might contract. Lovely life, lovely food. Well, I don't know if you're. Well, okay, they're making it like you wake up in the middle of the night. Okay, so yes, they have many things where they produce these noodles. Let's see products. Most sent me a lobster and another spicy one. I think he sent me the shrimp. Savory lobster bowl. That's the one. So I'm going to do this one with the Milwaukee's Best. And I'm going to add some onions, jalapeno, and some, I'm going to spruce it up a little bit. It does contain fish. True story. But no lobster, crab, and shrimp and fish. True story. Okay. Yeah. That's what's for lunch, my friend. I just scored a 12-pack of Marushan chicken instant lunch cups on eBay for $7. This is crap tastic. Okay. So sorry, I was showing you the wrong website at first. It was Nong Shim, which I've never seen in Louisiana, but we have a lot of Asian markets. They probably have it. I got to go back to Golden City market, not to mention Hong Kong market. Golden City's on the east bank of the Mississippi River, and Hong Kong market's on the west bank. So here we go, Canadian Hunter, 40th anniversary celebration. That's tight. You must have gotten a deal on those small bottles of Canadian Hunter. I didn't get the deal. I got the deal of the lifetime because it was free. David gave them to me, but he got a deal. These are 100 milliliters. These are not 50 milliliter little taste bottles. These are 100 milliliter. So it would take 7.5 of these to make a full bottle. 7.5 to make a full bottle. But he bought 12 of these. He bought 12 of these bottles for $5. I was saying that earlier in the video. 12 for $5. Now, I'd like to see somebody get liquor cheaper than that in America. Okay. I've had the Nong Shim gourmet beef noodles before. They are a tier above Marushan, I think, says Joe Hill. Well, I really like the Nong Shim, the first one I had 2 weeks ago or last week. Now, I bought a lot of those Asian ones. Those ones I bought from Thailand and Nepal, and then from Serbia, Europe, Eastern Europe. But they were good. I liked all of them. But I didn't find they were any better than Marushan or Nissan. I just didn't find they were better. They were different. They were alternative noodle, but I can't say they were better. But they were interesting, and I'm glad I bought them, and certainly would, yeah, certainly would buy more. Yeah. So let's look at this. Make sure it's the right product. Yeah. So Canadian Hunter is pale. It's very pale. It does have some coloring to it, but after 3 years in a oak barrel, it probably would pick up this. I mean, it looks like corn anyway. Corn is yellow, so, but of course, when it's a distillate, you know, when it's distillate, it's clear. But yeah, it does look like it could be natural color. Let's look at the WD liquors. It's not much different. Might have a little darker appearance, but it ain't much. So let's see. I can get WD at WD. I can get WD at Winn-Dixie for $13.99 this month, and I can go to Mathern's, yes, and get Canadian Hunter for $16.99. We're talking about for the big handle bottles. So $3 difference. If I hunt around, that's a GIF. I can't help it. If I hunt around for Canadian Hunter, could I probably find the handle for $15.99? Yes, I could. But it might not be worth the search, but I could do it. You know, so we're talking about $2 or $3 difference. Question: is there going to be a $2 or $3 difference in quality? My answer is going to be I seriously doubt that. Now, when I went up against the James Fox, the only difference was that it seemed like James Fox had less of the flavoring. Like they put a little flavoring to kind of tweak it, help it out. But it seemed like with the WD, they might have been at the factory, the distillery, which is a type of factory. They might have been at the distillery and said, just go ahead, add double the amount of vanilla, add double, you know, because this stuff is, you know, I don't know, I'm just joking, but it could be a specific recipe, but it just seemed like it's more jacked up with flavoring. Okay, aging, we don't know. Okay, yes, eventually I'll be finished with all the Buffalo Trace / Sazerac brands, and then we're on to other parts of Canada. Oh yes, I have many more. Some people are like, no, I'm going to unsubscribe. I can't stand Canadian whiskey. Well, I'm sorry. We'll be off to Ireland next, though. Irish whiskey next in about a week, 2 weeks, maybe. Yeah. What does this smell like? Smells like cereal grain, corn, rye, barley. I don't know about the wheat. I'm not really picking that up, but yeah, smell like Crown Royal, really. You didn't hear that here? No, but it does kind of smell like Crown Royal. Oh, you say you're not crazy. You're not going to put WD liquors up against Crown Royal, are you? You better believe I will, and it's coming. Does WD stand a chance? No, it will get killed, but we'll do it anyway. I mean, after all, $13.99 for this bottle versus $44.99 for the Crown Royal. I mean, I would hope Crown Royal would win. That would create a scandal if it lost. This one has a richer aroma. Now, I don't know if it's richer flavoring or richer grains, the grain bill, but I think it's the grain bill. So it might be the Canadian Hunter because it just smells richer and fuller. Wings and Pizza said, when the hunter becomes the hunted. And that's what happened. Herbie says, bad hangover. Well, are you saying people could get a bad hangover from these products, or are you saying you're having a bad hangover? I hope it's the first option. Yes, you could get a bad hangover from any liquor, which is why you want to pour that much, not the full glass, which a lot of people would be tempted to do. But don't do it. Okay, time to roll. I'd be out there cutting grass right now if it hadn't rained all morning, but I think in about 3 hours. I should be able to get out there and knock it out in about an hour. Still pretty cloudy though. I don't know. Oh, there's the plane, the airplane making the turn. Came from the northeast and it's turning right over my yard. See, what they do is they come from New York City or Atlanta, but they make that U-turn here and then they go to the New Orleans International Airport. And when I was coming in from England last year, I could see my neighborhood, from the plane. I was like, that's where I'm going to drive to soon. And I did. It was in the evening. It was getting dark, but it was still, I could see it. And I couldn't wait to be home. Did I like going to England and Gibraltar and Spain and Spanish Africa? I liked it, but I was glad to be home. But I liked it. I wish it was like close, where I could go there in about 2 hours. I would go all the time, but unfortunately, 12 hours, I don't like that. That's too long. I don't like being on a plane. Although they did give us good food, I'll say that. And they gave us beer like you're supposed to pay for it, but then a lot of times they said, well, you could just have some. I wasn't paying for the beer. But yeah, they gave us these IPAs. But now some of these IPAs were phony, like what I'm dealing with right now. Some of these IPAs, like I had an IPA they gave us on a plane from England. Brewdog. Now, I'm not kidding. Brewdog and some kind of IPA. And I was reading that can carefully. It said ale with natural flavors. I said, where can you go to get away from this? I eat food with liquor. It usually helps with hangovers, says Craft Beer-tastic. I can believe that. Has the new Sam Adams light beer made it your way yet? I don't think so. But Blue Moon Light's here. I haven't tried it. Finished half alone. Come on, Herbie. I hope you're kidding around, All right, let's go. Taste. Yeah, Coors. Their Blue Moon Light is here. It's here. It's ready to. It's rolling. It is rolling. I don't really like Blue Moon that much. Now I got to deal with a light version. Oh my goodness. I mean, Blue Moon's fine. It's like any other wheat beer. I don't really like wheat beers. They're kind of not that good. All right, this just tastes like whiskey with flavoring in it. Okay, let's go over here. What kind of flavoring? Vanilla, walnut oil type of thing. I know, maybe pecan oil. Same thing here, but less of it. See, like flavoring, and over here it's like flavoring. Would I pay the extra $2 or $3 to get the Canadian Hunter? Probably not. But like, hey, when I get it for free, and man, look, if I go back to Savannah, I'm not kidding now. If I go back to Savannah Discount and they got the 12-pack of these for $5, still I'm buying it. I'm buying anything they got. Any 12-pack of these, I don't care what liquor it is. I'll buy 4 of them. 4 times 5 is $20. $20, that's nothing. For thousands of milliliters of this liquor that I can deal with for years. I mean, yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. Like, well, I didn't buy it last time. It's like they had the Roma, the liqueur, the famous liqueur from Rome. With that it's like licorice liqueur. What they call it's 100 proof. It'll kill you really if you drink. But it's it's got that blue label. It's real famous. It's like what they call in Greece. If you go to Greece, they have the ouzo. Yeah, it's like an Italian ouzo. Could have got a whole 12-pack for $5. That's insanity. That's 1,200 milliliters for $5. It's actually not the cheapest I ever paid because I got a whole 1,750 milliliters of Caliber for $5 at Rouse's, not Walmart. Now, supposedly Walmart owns the Caliber brand. Yeah, same thing. Buffalo Trace makes it for them. But I bought it at Rouse's, and I can assure you Rouse's has no connection to Walmart. But I think what happened was Walmart might have just had overflow, and they told the distributor, look, just sell it to whoever wants it. We don't care. And they say, well, you got to sign something saying you're not going to get angry. Okay. And then Rouse's is like, nobody wants this stuff. Say sold it for $5. They might have bought it for $4.50. They made 50 cents a bottle. Hey, well, that's the deal of a lifetime. It tastes like these Parts Catacombs. Oh, Paris Catacombs. Oh, yeah. I've never been to a catacomb. But I've been in a lot of caverns. Okay. Final assessment. They're fine. Are they extraordinary? I mean, I'm pretty sure you knew that before you watched the video. They're not extraordinary. Avion tequila is extraordinary. See this shirt? That is wonderful. I tried this at River Ridge Discount over there on Jefferson Highway in River Ridge, Louisiana. Oh, that stuff. Oh, one day I'll buy a bottle of Avion. That is so wonderful. Have you ever reviewed Stone Enjoy by 7-4? Bought a 6-pack of it yesterday, and it was $17. I was just in disbelief. Well, if I had to pay $17 for a 6-pack, I would never try it. I have had Stone Enjoy by, and I like it. But it's not amazing. It just tastes like a good IPA. It's a gimmick. I get that. Oh, it's fresh. So you got to try it by this date so it'll be super fresh and you get all the hop action and all. Now there's an unfiltered and a hazy version. It's fine. I like it. But I'm not bought into that, that whole mindset. Now we're doing Stone beers coming up later this month. Any Stone beer. I'm going to buy the Goose Island. Not Goose Island. I'm going to buy the Stone. We're doing Goose Island too. But I'm going to buy the Stone. I guess probably the IPA because I love it. But I'm not sure. I really don't know. I say drink all IPAs fresh. I can't argue with that. Craft beer-tastic. Unless you want them to taste like barley wines. And that's only the imperial ones. Okay. If you buy a regular IPA and let it go old, it'll just taste like boo-boo. And you don't want a beer that's going to taste like boo-boo. Okay. This one tastes like, I guess it tastes like vanilla. Let's go over here. I was hoping you were going to say it was spectacular. It's hard to say what's spectacular, because I can go to Walmart and shoot an arrow down the beer aisle, and I probably hit an A. At the worst, I hit an A minus. So, yeah, I mean, I can go to the Walmart beer section, look at the IPAs, and I'm going to hit an A, an A, an A, an A, an A, an A. They're all spectacular. Terrapin, Hopsecutioner, Two-Hearted Ale, Lagunitas IPA, Stone IPA, and there's others. And they're going to all be, 93, 94, 95, 93, 92, 93, 94, 95. Now, some people get jealous, like, oh, you're wrong. Because I paid $7.99 for this regular bottle of this IPA from Vermont, and it's almost impossible to get. And I had to get on the waiting list. And I know it's way better. And then I'll taste it. I'll be like, well, it's a little bit better. It's a 97. This is a 94. I paid $18.99 for a 12-pack, and you paid $7.99 for a single can. I don't know if you got a good value, but I'm thinking I'm pretty sure I got the better value. But I mean, that's just the reality. That's the reality. And some people got an anti-Walmart attitude. You know, they'll say nothing good comes out of Walmart. Well, you're wrong. You're wrong there. A lot of good things come out of Walmart. I got some jalapeno peppers from Walmart. Did they taste good? I'm eating them now. I'm enjoying them. Okay, but still have some more of this. I think this is the Canadian premium Canadian from WD Liquors. Wouldn't give it as a wedding gift. Would not give it as a graduation gift. Would bring it to a parade party. Would bring it to a birthday party. Especially since no one at the party is going to take time to taste, smell, and assess the aroma and flavor. They're just going to make endless cocktails, and then this entire bottle will not last 3 hours. Okay. But then, of course, that's why this is made. It's not made for what I'm doing right now. Canadian Hunter. I never could figure out what this was made for. I don't know why Seagram's came out with this in 1984. I don't know why they basically never promoted it. I don't know why they turned around and sold it to Sazerac 5 years later. Because their initial ads, they did put some ads out, but it didn't last. But they said, a Canadian whiskey for the 1980s. A Canadian whiskey for the 1980s. Okay, great. This big splash, and then nothing happened, and then they selling it to Sazerac. Wait, I guarantee you Sazerac ain't going to advertise it. They never advertise anything. They don't promote anything. But then there they are selling stuff left and right. So would I give a Canadian whiskey for a graduation gift or a wedding? Yes, I would. But it would probably be something more like Crown Royal Reserve, you know. Well, actually, it would be a Crown Royal of some type because that's pretty much what people think of with Canadian whiskey. They're like fixated on that in Louisiana. Crown Royal. Every day, all day, Crown Royal. So, but I think this is the Winn-Dixie WD Liquors. I'm sorry. It's both. It's Winn-Dixie Liquors, WD Liquors. But the actual, technically, it's called WD Liquors. I got it. Hey, did you hear what I said? I got it. You know, but yeah, it's not too hard to get it right because it's kind of heavy-handed on the vanilla, and yeah, I guess they're trying to mask stuff. So, oh well, no big deal. This one is fine. I wouldn't hunt for it. Haha. Wink, wink. But then you don't have to hunt for it because most stores sell it. So if you see Canadian Hunter and you're looking to try something for a low price, you might even find a regular bottle for $8.99. Now, I'm not kidding about that. $8.99 today, 2024. Well, more than likely you're not going to, but you might. Is it an awful product? No. But it's nice. Yeah, nice. A lot of stuff is like that. It's just nice. So coming up next is going to be yeah, I think it's Caliber. I think I got to skip that many years, 84 to 04. I got to skip 20 years because I'm doing Sazerac, you know, brands. Caliber, which according to the trademark office, is owned by what they call Walmart Apollo, not Walmart, Walmart Apollo, which Walmart Apollo might technically be the actual name of the company that oversees Walmart and Sam's Club. But that's what it says, Walmart Apollo, 2004. But I bought mine at Rouse's. Get over that. I can't. So that one's going to be very close. I mean, that would be nearly impossible. Now, when I go into other brands, 40 Creek, Niagara Canadian whiskey from Campari, Canada, yeah, that'll be a cinch. when I do the do I have any more of that? The classic 12-year small batch from Canadian Club. I might have drank all that, but I'm sorry, tasted all that. I might have some. And then when I go into the Crown Royal XO, Crown Royal Reserve, Crown Royal Bourbon Mash, I mean, there'll be no chance. There's no chance. It's impossible. I'll put money. I'll send you money if I get it wrong. There's no way. There is no way I will confuse WD Canadian whiskey with any Crown Royal product. That cannot happen. That's an impossibility. It will never happen. But I'll still do it. I'll do the challenge. It's like a football schedule. You play the schedule, even though there's no way we could lose to this team. This team is terrible. It's like 1952. The Chicago Bears said there is no way we can lose to the Dallas Texans. They have no wins. This team is horrible. The team is bankrupt. They turned the team back over to the league. That's what happened with the New Orleans Hornets years ago. The owner went bankrupt and he gave the team to the league. The league was like, we don't want this team. So they sold it to Tom Benson, who owned the Saints. But what I'm saying is, but then they lost. They actually lost to that Dallas Texans. And the head coach of the Bears was about to attack his own players. I remember when he was still the owner. What was the name of that guy? He played for the Bears, and then he owned the Bears. Oh, wait, let me get this right. He played for the Chicago Bears. Then he was a coach of the Chicago Bears, and then he owned the Chicago Bears. And some of that he did concurrently. George Halas, Greek name, Greek. But the only win the Dallas Texans got the whole year in 1952 was to beat the Chicago Bears, and he wanted to fight his own players after they lost to Dallas. But so yeah, that could happen, with Crown Royal, but it ain't gonna happen. All right, thanks for watching. Bye bye. Y'all take care now.